Resource Officer Tuan Lin and Corporal Lori Bourgeau. Thank you for joining us. They're here to talk to us about their roles as SROs, student resource officers, what parents and kids can do to start the year off right. Thank you both for taking the time today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. Lori, we'll start with you. What does the first day of school typically look like for you?
Well, so there's the mom side of me that is
Yes.
getting up early, making breakfast, making sure my kids have what they need, sending them off to school, then beating it to the school where I actually work, which is Bishop Kelly High School.
Nice.
And, you know, those first days are often filled with lots of smiles, fist bumps, high fives, lots of excitement. Both Tuan and I are in high schools, so there can be some nervousness about the big building and where to go. So helping those kids find their place in the building is really fun. It's fun to see them.
Fantastic. Tuan?
Very similar to what Lori said. The only thing she didn't mention was I'm at the best high school, Timberline. Go Wolves.
Okay. Debatable.
But it's very similar to the same. Very similar to the same. You know, we just want to get out, get our faces out with the kids, let them know we're happy to have them back, where we are, make ourselves available so if they need anything, they can find us.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And just being available to kids. That is awesome. What would you like parents and students to know about SROs that maybe they don't know?
You know, on that same note about being available, like we want kids and parents to know that we care about their children and their well-being and safety immensely. Everyone in that school building. Most of us are parents, so we share a lot of, you know, similar anxieties and stresses. We want our kids cared for, and so we in turn care immensely for those kids. And we want to be a resource. That's why it's the second word in our title, right?
Oh, it's right in there.
We're a resource to everyone. And so we hope that we create an environment that they feel like they can come to us with whatever it may be, questions, concerns. So
more about just security and stopping crimes, but just being there for the kids.
Yeah, safety is the obvious, right? Number one goal. But there's such many more layers to that.
Fantastic. Tuan, a lot of neighborhood schools out there, a lot of kids walking to school. What do they need to keep in mind?
Well, big thing is, especially the schools tucked into those neighborhoods, I always like to tell parents is have a plan, right? Make sure your kids understand where they're going, how they're getting there. Big thing too for parents is to make sure those kids know maybe the phone number, parents' names, have alternate routes if they have to, walk in groups, and as you get closer to those schools, be alert because there's a lot of traffic coming in from vehicles, buses, a lot of people flying down those streets, and the schools do the best they can with volunteers to kind of help mitigate that traffic, but at the same time, it's unpredictable. So always keep your head on a swivel, making sure that they get to point A to B just fine, and that they understand how that works, where they're going, and that there's a system in place that those kids understand.
And if you're a driver out there, slow down for crying out loud. You could save a life. Any just sort of general tips, Lori, for having a safe and successful year?
You know, I would just say, try your best. You know, go to school, like, try and have a positive attitude about being at school. Try your best. If something isn't going quite right, reach out to one of the trusted adults in your school, whether that's your teacher, a principal, or your school resource officer, because we're here to help with anything.
And again, to be a resource. Real quick, we reminded some parents and drivers earlier this week about rules regarding school buses. We heard a number where it was about 600 people who blew through those stop arm signs just last year, which is an insane number. Tuan, any more sort of tips and reminders for folks out there?
Well, big thing is safety is paramount, right? We got to understand that those are kids and children on those buses. And to help people understand that, I know there's a lot of confusion on how you're supposed to stop, when you're supposed to stop. The easiest way to remember that is if you're traveling on anything for 3 lanes or more, then typically any oncoming traffic or going against you don't have to stop when that bus extends its arm or which actuates its lights. Anything under 3 lanes, no matter which way you're traveling, you must stop. Now, to proceed going forward, you need to make sure that the bus is either in motion or its lights and stop arms have retracted and aren't actuated anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And just look out for kids out there. Hey,
100%.
Really appreciate it. You'll have a great year.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And just try your best. I'm going to try my best as well.